Hi guys, that's my name and that's the truth, and this is Kablams. Today here with a follow-up video for the Syberclicks terrain that I had on the last one. Now I had a comment on my last video, I'll put a link in the description to that, from Richter Studios. Now you want to check out his video is some absolutely fantastic work with terrain, and we also found that we'd also bought the same stuff and featured it in our videos. So he basically asked a question how I achieved the finish that I have on these panels, and I just wanted to put that in a video form. Basically, one, so I get used to doing these videos, and secondly, I think it's just easier to explain over a video rather than in a very small comments field that would be very restrictive. So, okay, addressing the question. Now, it's very simple the way I did these. You might have seen in one of my earlier videos I covered a few months back. What I'd done is I'd sprayed them black, and that actually turned out to be a bit of a mistake. So I spent a good week stripping about what must have been 500 different panels of the black paint. They basically sat in Dettol for about 4 days. It was an absolute nightmare. The house stunk. Massive mistake. Well, the reason I went back to the original colour, I wanted to strip them back to, is that they actually come in silver. Now you can see here that this one here is actually the original colour. I haven't got around to washing that one yet. And essentially it's quite a nice silver colour. But of course looks completely fake because it's got far too much of a blue tinge to it. And yeah, so what I did is I basically worked up my own black and brown washes and went ahead and washed them. So I mean, you don't want to use Games Workshop or any of the other big paint manufacturers' washes for this sort of thing, because it's going to cost far too much. So what I tend to do when I'm working with big projects like this and I want to do a wash is mix my own. So I got some black house paint. Surprising, you can actually get black house paint, but yeah, I managed to get my hands on some. And it's just a very small amount in a cup, and then a load of water. And then when you brush that on, I mean, you don't get a perfect wash look on these, as you can see. I mean, it's not the sort of standard you want to be on your models, but for a big terrain piece like this, where you're sort of viewing it from a distance and you just want it to look dirty and bring out all the detail, it's perfect. And then what I did is I got one of these paints. Now I've used this on a couple of my terrain pieces. It's basically acrylic paint that you can buy from any craft store essentially. This one's Wilko's from the UK. Very cheap. I think it was a couple of quid, and I've still got most of it left. So I did the same thing again. Stuck it in a cup, put some water in, made a very simple wash, and then I went over the wash that I'd done previously with the black. So the black made all the indents quite dark, and then this brown is actually brilliant. It's called Burnt Umber, and it does a brilliant job of sort of making things look rusty. And as you can see, what it's done is it's just brought out all those details, filled in all these spots here, and just given a general shade, an overall shade to the panels. I was very liberal with the wash because I knew it was cheap, so I just went absolutely mad with it, and really chuffed with how it came out, to be honest. Now the reason I went back to silver, didn't get around to explaining that a moment ago, is that with the black I was finding that the paint was chipping off, especially where you've got the actual contact points where you're clipping these small clips on, which was becoming a bit of a problem. So I mean, the main reason that doing a wash on it was absolutely brilliant is that the original colour is actually such a silver rather than a grey that if any of the wash chips off, it's not a problem at all. It basically just brings out a highlight. So you can see it's happened a little bit there. That doesn't turn out to be a problem at all. And in time it'll probably add to the overall appearance of the set. So yeah, that's the preparation work I did. It was very quick. It was basically done with a massive paintbrush. I laid out all the panels on a huge piece of plastic, and then I just went mad with a big paintbrush, and then they turned out like this. So I hope that's answered your questions, Richter scale. Hopefully. And stay well, guys. I'll see you in the next one.